All right, so something I missed in that vlog I did with the Mavic Mini was the fact that the Mini can now set the white balance manually. So I thought it'd be a good idea to try to test that out today. I usually set my Kelvin manually when I do fly, and believe it or not, I also utilize gray cards and color cards when I'm doing that. So that way when I take it back in the post, I can build a LUT for the scene that I'm flying in, and it just makes things a lot easier. So these are really cheap. This is a Data Color Spider 24. You can pick them up on Amazon. It's like 49 bucks, but they're well worth it, especially if you have DaVinci Resolve and they have native plugins for color corrector utilities like this. But I'll talk about all that here in a little bit, but let's go ahead and do some flying with the Mavic Mini. All right, so far I'm really impressed with the manual white balance on the Mavic Mini. It's a nice feature to have. It's actually something that was highly, I would say, underrated, because you can really dial in your colors on a scene. It makes things much more pleasing. Obviously for me, color is really important, and I think that you can really convey a lot of emotion when you start dealing with color. So actually out here, this is a spot in Hernando Beach. This scene may look familiar. Billy and I flew here a couple of about a year or so ago with our Mavics, but it's a great spot to just go and fly away from everything and everybody, because nobody really wants to come back here because you're gonna get super muddy if you do. But back to the Mavic Mini. The number you need to remember is 5600K. 5600K, that's the Kelvin value of daylight. The higher up you go, the warmer that color is going to be. So if you go to 6,000, it's going to get a little bit warmer. And if you go lower than 5,000, it's going to technically get cooler as you go down. So like 4,000 Kelvin is going to give you a much cooler tone than if you shoot at 5600. So like right now, I am filming at daylight, and this is 5600 Kelvin. I've manually set this camera to that so the auto white balance doesn't keep fluctuating all over the place. So if there's one number you can remember, it's 5600 Kelvin. Now when you are flying at lower light situations, you may want to tune your white balance. So if you're flying at sunset, 5600 may be too much. You may want to switch over to, let's say, 4800 or maybe 4600. So play with it, and honestly, color, it's all about what looks best to your eye. There's really no right or wrong way to do it. I'm gonna go ahead and get the Mavic Mini back up in the air, because right now it's really beautiful. It's almost unfair that all this crap's going on, because this is the best weather I've seen in Florida. You can see I'm wearing a sweater right now, and that's because it's like about like 75 degrees out. You guys are gonna call me a baby, but that's cold to me for this time of year. It's usually in the 80s right now. So I'm just trying to find a spot to set the bag down, and then I'm gonna fly this area right here. All this right here. Typically you will find gators in this area. Fuck, that hurt. Oh shit. Mavic Mini's got some bite. Legit. That's enough fun for one day. Whew. Ah, it's a bit bright. There we go. That's about right. All right. All right, guys. I hope you. Oh. All right. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video testing out the Mavic Mini footage. If you guys are interested in that plugin for Premiere Pro, I'll have a link in the description below. You can download it for free. The only difference between the free version and the paid version is the fact that you can create LUTs with the paid version. I don't really know if it's worth it. I can just copy the settings from one clip to another. The only time it becomes useful to make LUTs is if you're basically constantly going to be color grading the same thing over and over again. Then LUTs are really useful. But beyond that, I don't really think it's a big deal. But the spider checker, I think, could be useful. And if you start using that on your clips, your white balance will look great. Your colors will look amazing. And you'll start to notice the finer little details in your videos. But all this stuff really super simple to do, and I really had a fun day flying out here. Really not a lot of people that I saw, which is a good thing, and it's just so gorgeous out. Man, 75. I wish it could stay like this all the time, but you actually be allowed to do awesome things. But all right, till the next video, stay original.